Okay, so have you ever, scrolled through those like amazing travel photos
Oh,
online
yeah, all the time.
and just been like, oh, I wish I could go there?
Totally. It's like major travel envy.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to dive into this company called Limabre Custom Travel. And
Interesting.
yeah, they're doing something kind of different. They're not just, booking flights and hotels. It's more like
Okay.
they're curating like the whole
No,
experience.
curated travel. That's
Yeah.
definitely a thing now. So what makes this Limabre different?
Well, one of the things is they're really into planning ahead. So, like, their trips are for 2025 and 2026.
Wow, that's planning ahead.
Yeah, and they have some interesting stuff. So, they have like this family-friendly Caribbean cruise in April 2025.
Okay.
There's a Chicago house music trip in July.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and then there's like adults-only Virgin Voyages sailing in October.
All right, so they've got a range of options.
Mm.
But I'm curious about the pricing. Like,
Mhm.
how does it compare to just using a regular travel agent or going online?
Good question.
Hmm.
So they have these 3 tiers of service. The first one is called the Essential Travel Package, and it's like their basic planning service. And right now they're actually waiving the $25 fee.
Really? So it's free.
Yeah, for a limited time.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah, so if you're like serious about planning ahead,
Yeah,
this is a good option.
definitely. And I guess that waiving the fee is a smart move. It
Well,
shows they're serious about getting people to plan early.
yeah, for sure. So then their middle tier is the Tailored Discovery Package.
Okay.
This one's for like more complex trips.
Like what?
So like if you want to go to multiple destinations
All
or
right.
if you're like coordinating a trip for a big group,
Oh, I see.
that one's $50.
So like if I wanted to do like a safari in Tanzania and then relax on a beach in Zanzibar,
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
that makes sense.
And then for people who want like the ultimate luxury experience,
Ooh, tell me more.
there's the Luxury Exploration Package, and it starts at $199.
Okay, that sounds fancy, but what exactly do you get for that?
Yeah, that's a good question, and we should definitely get into that more.
Yeah.
But before we get carried away with the luxury travel dreams, there's one important thing we need to talk about:
What's that?
the fees.
Oh, right. Yeah, it all sounds amazing. But do those fees cover the whole cost of the trip? Like the flights and hotels?
So, according to their disclaimer, the fees only cover the itinerary creation part.
So you're paying for their expertise to plan the trip,
Exactly.
but you still got to pay for the actual travel stuff.
Right, so it's like having someone design your dream vacation,
I like that analogy.
but you still got to pay for the building materials.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And they're upfront about that, which is good.
Oh, yeah, they're very transparent about it.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so you're paying for their time and their expertise to like really curate the perfect itinerary for you.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique service.
Definitely.
All right, so now that we've got the basics down, let's dig into some of the specific trips they offer.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
That adults-only Halloween cruise on Virgin Voyages is calling my name.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear about that one.
Yeah. All right, so it's on the Valiant Lady,
Okay.
which is one of Virgin Voyage's newer ships, and they're known for being really modern and,
Fancy.
yeah, kind of fancy and very adult-focused.
Okay, so no kids running around.
Nope, definitely not.
Nice. So where do they go?
They're going to the Riviera Maya in Mexico.
Oh, wow. Beautiful beaches, right?
Yeah, and crystal clear water, and they even have Mayan ruins there.
Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's a Halloween cruise, they must have some fun stuff planned.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can bet there will be costume parties and all sorts of Halloween-themed entertainment.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique way to celebrate Halloween.
I bet.
Okay.
So what about that family-friendly Caribbean cruise in April? You mentioned that one earlier.
Right, so that one's on the Carnival Sunrise.
Okay.
And it's a great option for families because they have tons of activities and amenities.
Like what kind of stuff?
They have water parks and mini golf and even a kids club.
Oh, so the parents can have a break.
Exactly. And they're sailing to the Eastern Caribbean.
Nice. Classic Caribbean vacation.
Yep. They're hitting up popular spots like St. Martin,
Okay.
Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic.
Beautiful islands.
Yeah. And since it's a llama bread trip, I'm sure they'll have some special touches for families.
Yeah. Like what?
Maybe some excursions that are specifically for kids or even reserved seating at some of the shows.
That's smart. Makes things easier for families.
Yeah, definitely takes some of the stress out of traveling with kids.
Totally. Okay, so now I got to hear about this Chicago house music trip.
Yeah.
That one sounds really cool.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious to see how they're going to like capture the whole vibe of Chicago's house music scene.
Right, because Chicago is more than just the music. It's got the museums and the architecture and the food.
Exactly. So how are they going to weave all that into the trip?
Good question.
Well, knowing Limabre, they're not going to just take you to the typical tourist spots.
Right. They'll probably do something more unique.
Yeah, maybe they'll get you exclusive access to concerts or clubs,
Oh, that'd be cool.
or even behind-the-scenes tours of recording studios.
That would be amazing.
And maybe even meet and greets with some of the DJs.
Wow, now that's what I call a curated experience.
Yeah, for sure. And I bet they'll incorporate some of Chicago's food scene, too.
Like what?
Maybe a food tour that features their famous deep dish pizza.
Oh, yeah, I can have the deep dish.
And maybe even a visit to a classic blues club.
Nice.
Yeah.
A little taste of Chicago culture.
Exactly. And that's what I like about Limabre. They're not just putting together flights and hotels.
Right. It's more than that.
They're creating a whole experience. They take your interests into account.
That's what makes it special.
And your travel style and even your budget.
It's like having a personal travel designer.
Exactly. And even if none of these specific trips are your thing,
Yeah?
they're totally open to working with you to create a custom itinerary.
Oh, wow. So they can plan a trip to anywhere.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a specific destination in mind, they can help you make it happen.
That's pretty cool. So if you've got some crazy dream trip, they can help you figure it out.
Exactly. That's what sets them apart from regular travel agencies.
Definitely. It's all about creating a journey that's unique to you.
Exactly. It's about turning those travel daydreams into reality.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what kind of travel dreams have you been having lately?
Well, hearing about all these Limabre trips has definitely got me thinking about some of my own bucket list destinations.
Oh, yeah. Like what kind of places?
Well, for me, lately, I've been really drawn to the Scottish Highlands.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Hmm.
Tell me more about that.
Well, I just love the idea of these dramatic landscapes,
Yeah.
with the rugged mountains and the misty lochs.
Yeah, it sounds magical.
And there's just this sense of history that permeates everything.
Right, all those stories of ancient clans and legendary creatures.
Exactly. It's just so captivating. Plus, I've always imagined the Scottish Highlands as a place where you can really disconnect from the modern world.
Yeah, get away from it all.
Yeah, and just immerse yourself in nature's beauty.
I can see that long hikes and cozy pubs and maybe even a chance encounter with Nessie.
Who knows?
That'd be
Maybe
cool.
Limabre could arrange a Nessie spotting expedition.
That would be awesome. But seriously, it sounds like a destination that has something for everyone. Adventure, culture, relaxation.
Totally. I could definitely see myself spending weeks there exploring castles and hiking trails and enjoying the local whiskey.
Speaking of whiskey, that reminds me of another destination I've been dreaming about, Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, specifically a whiskey tour of Japan. Visiting different distilleries and learning about how they make Japanese whiskey.
A Japanese whiskey tour. That sounds amazing. I've heard that Japanese whiskey is becoming really popular worldwide.
It is. It's getting a lot of recognition.
Hmm.
And I think it would be so cool to see firsthand the dedication and the craftsmanship that goes into making it.
Totally. And of course, I'd want to explore the cultural side of Japan too, the
Yeah.
temples, the gardens, the cities.
Oh yeah, Japan has so much to offer. It's like ancient traditions and modern technology all mixed together.
And the food. Oh my gosh, the food.
I know, right? I could spend weeks just eating my way through Japan.
Seriously. But even beyond specific destinations, I think what's really exciting about Limabre is that they can create experiences that are tailored to your interests.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not just about where you go, but how you experience it.
Right. So whether it's a whiskey tour of Japan or a trek through the Scottish Highlands.
It's about finding those experiences that really resonate with you.
Exactly. And that's where Limabre's expertise comes in.
They can help you find those hidden gems and those off-the-beaten-path adventures.
Yeah, and maybe even spark some travel inspiration that you never even thought of before.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sometimes all you need is a little push in the right direction.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Limabre Custom Travel, we want to leave you with this thought. If you could design your perfect trip, where would it be and what would it involve?
Don't hold back. Let your imagination run wild. Maybe it's a culinary adventure through Southeast Asia, or a wildlife safari in Africa.
Or a road trip along the Pacific Coast Highway.
Whatever it is, hold on to that vision and start taking steps to make it happen.
Yeah, dust off that passport, do some research, maybe even reach out to Limabre.
The world is out there waiting to be explored.
So go out there and discover it. And don't forget to pack your sense of adventure.
Oh, it's an important thing.
Absolutely. All right, so now that we kind of get how Limabre works, let's dive into some of these specific trips they've got.
Yeah, let's get into the details.
Okay, so that adults-only Halloween cruise on Virgin Voyages.
Oh, yeah. That one sounded intriguing.
Right, so it's on the Valiant Lady,
Okay.
which is one of Virgin Voyage's newer ships. So they're like really modern and
I've heard good things about Virgin Voyages.
yeah, they're supposed to be pretty cool. And this one is definitely like adult-focused.
So no kids running around.
Yeah, no kids. It's all about like, having a more sophisticated vibe.
I can dig it. So where does this howling cruise actually go?
Okay, so they're heading to the Riviera Maya in Mexico.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so you've got those beautiful beaches,
Right.
the crystal clear water.
And I think they have Mayan ruins there too, right?
Yes, they do. So you can get a little bit of history in there as well.
That's cool. So being a Halloween cruise, I'm guessing they've got some fun stuff planned.
Yeah, definitely. You can expect costume parties and themed entertainment. And who knows, maybe even some spooky surprises along the way.
Sounds fun. I like that they're embracing the theme.
Yeah, it's definitely not your average cruise experience.
All right, so we've talked about the adults only option. What about that family-friendly Caribbean cruise that's happening in April?
Okay, so that one is on the Carnival Sunrise.
Okay, I know Carnival, they're pretty popular for families.
Yeah, and for good reason. They have a ton of activities and amenities to keep everyone entertained.
Like, what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, they've got water parks and mini golf and even a kids club, so parents can actually get a little break.
Oh, that's key,
Yeah,
especially on a family vacation.
right. You gotta have some time to relax. And this cruise is going to the Eastern Caribbean.
The Eastern Caribbean, nice.
Mhm.
Lots of beautiful islands over there.
Exactly. They're hitting up popular spots like St. Martin,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic.
Sounds like a classic Caribbean itinerary.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
And because it's a Limabre trip, I'm sure they'll have some extra special touches for families.
Like what kind of things?
Well, maybe some excursions that are specifically geared towards kids.
That'd be smart.
Yeah, or maybe even reserved seating at some of the shows so families can sit together.
Right. Those little things can make a big difference when you're traveling with kids.
Yeah, it's all about making the experience as smooth and enjoyable as possible.
Okay, so we've covered Halloween and the Caribbean.
Hmm.
Now I'm really curious about this Chicago house music trip.
Yeah, that one is definitely unique.
It is. How are they going to capture that whole Chicago house music scene?
Well, it's more than just the music, right?
Exactly. Chicago's an amazing city. It's got the museums, the architecture, the food.
Right. So how do they tie all of that into the trip?
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, Limabre isn't about doing the typical touristy stuff.
They like to go a little deeper.
Right. So maybe they'll get you exclusive access to some concerts or clubs,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
or maybe even behind-the-scenes tours of recording studios.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Right. Or imagine meet and greets with some of the DJs.
Wow, yeah. That's a whole other level of experience.
And of course, they've got to incorporate some of Chicago's food scene.
Of course. What are they thinking?
Well, maybe a food tour that highlights their famous deep dish pizza.
You can't go to Chicago without having deep dish pizza.
Right. It's a must-do. And maybe even a visit to a classic blues club.
Nice.
Yeah.
A little bit of music history.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really about creating a complete picture of Chicago.
Yeah, not just one aspect of it.
Right, and that's what I appreciate about Limabre. They're not just throwing together flights and hotels.
It's more thoughtful than that.
Exactly. They're creating a whole experience that takes your interests, your travel style, and your budget into account.
It's like having a personal travel designer.
Yeah, exactly. And even if none of these specific trips really appeal to you,
Right.
they're totally open to working with you to create a custom itinerary.
So they can plan a trip to anywhere you want.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
If you have a specific destination in mind, they can help you make it happen.
that's really cool. So they could help you plan like a super unique trip.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what sets them apart from just a regular travel agent.
Definitely. It's all about making your travel dreams a reality.
Right. So speaking of travel dreams, what are some destinations that have been on your mind lately?
So you were saying about travel dreams. What about you?
Yeah, well, hearing about all these Limabre trips has me thinking about my own bucket list.
Yeah, what's on there?
Okay, so lately I've been really drawn to this.
Yeah, just get away from it all.
Yeah, and immerse yourself in nature.
It sounds amazing.
Ah,
I can picture it now. Like long hikes, cozy pubs,
huh?
maybe even a chance to spot Nessie.
Huh? Who knows? Maybe Limabre could arrange a Nessie spotting expedition.
That'd be epic. But seriously, it seems like a place that has something for everyone. Adventure culture, relaxation.
Totally. I could easily see myself spending weeks there, exploring castles, hiking trails, and of course, enjoying the local whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of whiskey, that reminds me of another place I've been dreaming about, Japan.
Japan.